Yeah, they're ours. Yeah. Okay. Hello. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Okay, I'm so nervous, I don't even know where to start. Right off the bat, this episode is probably titled something along the lines of, "This is the frat I'm rushing," or "Why I chose this frat to rush." It's clickbait. You got clickbaited. I've probably got a lot of people that are watching me that I met tonight, about 20 minutes ago. This is episode 244 of Keeping It Real. I'm your host, jackkadis, and I'm going to do my best to slow the hell down because I had a Celsius today at lunch, and I shouldn't have, dude. It's like once I start drinking that stuff, I just start drinking it every day. Anyway, if you're someone that I met, Dalton, Clariotis, I mean, I knew a lot of y'all. I don't mean that we're supposed to make these episodes stand alone, and I've never been one to like just shout names out because, you know, this, after all, this show is for the people watching, not me. What's going on? This is going to be probably a solo episode, but you know how we have it set up now. I mean, I've got everything ready to roll. If we get a guest that sits down, we get a guest that sits down. But I can tell you one thing: it's only going to be one of three people. So let me just tell you what just happened, right? Let me say I'm a little bit worried about how long my days are and short my nights are. I can't seem to get more than 5 hours of sleep. And I don't think that's chill at all. It ain't good for me. It ain't good for my muscles. It ain't good for this show. It's bad for the show. I mean, let's talk about this, right? I just put this show on the plate of so many guys. Let me tell you something. The fraternity scene, the Greek life scene on the guys' side at North Carolina State University here in Raleigh, North Carolina, is something else. I mean, it is like, dude, like, there's a place for everybody. Like, I mean, it is something else. I mean, I just felt like I dove into, I don't know how many tents I went and stopped under. I got to start telling a story here. I'm all over the place. Like I felt like I was just a second ago. Okay, let's slow down. Let's think. I think sometimes when I get like this in past episodes, longtime viewers will know that I just start at the top of my day and then cut out all the parts I don't want to talk. I go chronologically. So let's start there. I woke up. Today I had pre-calculus over at Wake Tech at 9 a.m. It was just an hour-long class. Made it there. Did hit snooze on the alarm a couple of times, but I did make it there. Did the class. Came out of the class. And I had a slice of pizza. Really good pricing on food over at the there's like a little vendor inside. If you go to Wake Technical Community College in Raleigh, North Carolina, I have to like say where all these places are. Like I said, these episodes have to be standalone. You have to be able to join in on Keeping It Real number whatever and not feel like you're not included or you don't know maybe the lore. And according to YouTube, I mean, people watch this show from all over the world. So, like I said in yesterday's episode, North Carolina is in between New York City and Florida on the east coast of the United States. And the pricing's good at this one little vendor in building. Why does this matter? Okay, I'm nervous. I'm nervous because I feel like a lot of these guys that I spoke to tonight just might tune in. What sucks is I feel like if they're gonna, then they already did, or they might before 7:15 tomorrow morning when this episode will come out. I may post this episode right away. I might not schedule this one for tomorrow. We don't have any backups right now, and it's like record, edit, schedule for the next day. Usually I have like 8 hours till, and I just go to bed. When I wake up, it's posted. I was supposed to start this episode with an announcement. Sorry, I'm getting off track. Pre-calculus trigonometry. Then I did one of my homeworks that I asked for an extension for in a common area at community college. And I've never asked for an extension for anything in my entire academic career, but I think this semester feels a little bit different for me. You know, it's time to start using every single tool at my disposal to get my hands on one of them diplomas. I mean, come on, it is about time. So I asked for an extension, and I got one. It was so weird. It was like, could I have done this the whole time with everything? Crazy. So I went ahead and got that out of the way, finished what I asked for an extension on, and it doesn't stop. Tomorrow I have a lot more work to do. I'm pacing myself, getting it all done as much as I can each day so that I'm not stuck at Sunday at 9 p.m. trying to like pick and choose which thing I'm going to turn in because I can't turn in everything. And once I finish that assignment, I'd say I made it through 75% of it, really activated brain-wise, and then I drifted off and just ChatGPT slumped the last 25, which is not good. So, assignment turned in aside, you could say I'm still very much behind. Regardless, I'm trying to get into the meat of today. And although school is one of the many disciplines that I pursue, it is not at the moment what I want to talk about. After I submitted it, I did a bit of I broke a bit of a rule. It's good when you do different things to have places for all the things that you do. For example, I moved this setup for this podcast out of my bedroom and into a common area in the place that I live because my bedroom is where I sleep. And now this is where I do the podcast. You see, it's not the same area. There's no blurred lines. I have a separate laptop for school, which I'm very lucky to have. And a big thing when I got it was like, okay, this laptop, it only does school. It does not, I have this big desktop and a graveyard of old Macs that I use for social media. And that's where I do social media. It's like a mind connection. Like when I have this device, it's for this. Well, I broke that rule today after my WebAssign homework. I just kind of got sucked into keeping it real a little bit. For a while now, I have been pushing towards providing my viewers with an option to give me money, to put it very bluntly. We're coming up on 300 episodes, and I feel as though it's time to start pushing the ball. The ball's not going to start moving by itself. You got to start Sisyphus style, pushing it up the damn hill. And it ain't like it used to be, let me tell you that. YouTube, Google AdSense, it's a fantastic partnership program. Matter of fact, Spotify has a program too. Instagram has a program. TikTok has a program. They all have partner programs, and you have to meet a certain threshold of numbers. That's not, although it is something we talk about often on this show, that's background noise, right? And I think what matters most is not how much people tune in or it. I feel that the only person that's going to get me paid is me. Is this, like my 100% I'm all in working on 8 hours a day? No, it still is hovering at about 2 hours of work time a day for me. It's very much part-time. That's 14 hours. It's a little bit less than part-time. That's 14 hours a week. I work social media, but a lot of people are like, I've seen it a lot growing up, and a lot of the guys that I would watch on YouTube, whether they make this or they make that, there's always that moment where they make that announcement like, I'm quitting my job. And for a lot of them, I feel like, they had been, you're so surprised to learn that they still had a job, right? It's like they'll have just hit 5 million subscribers and get millions of views per video. And then they finally announce, I'm quitting my job and going YouTube full time. And it's like, really? Like, how did you ever have a job? Like like I've watched you all the time. Like I thought that this was like, how could you manage to have both? And I like see a path that I'm headed down, and I don't want to strain myself more than I have to. Sorry to say, but more than I want to be successful in keeping it real, I want to, live to be 100 years old. And so I ain't gonna, these 5-hour nights just ain't gonna cut it. But where was I? So I got sucked into, I have a Substack now. I changed the link in my Instagram. So now when you look me up at jackkadis, and you press that link in my bio, which people do, Instagram tells you about your link clicks, and I think I get like 10 a week. You are prompted to enter your email. If you don't know what Substack is, I feel like Substack is very popular amongst college students, primarily computer science students. It's very much code. It's very much like coder friendly. A lot of times you'll launch your startup if you make software on Substack. That's kind of where I learned about it. But it's also a very great email subscription tool. A lot of people have blogs that they write, which I think is awesome. I tell people all the time, you should start a podcast. Well, maybe that's a little bit too much for you. Start a damn blog. I mean, before I had Keeping It Real, I kept a little diary in Google Docs. And then the next step was to post it publicly, but I thought, hey, let's attach some video. I'm getting off topic. I made a Substack. And so now when you click that link and you put your email in, the next screen you're brought to is donation subscription tier list. I don't exactly like how it's formatted. It took about 1.5, 2 hours to set up the thing. And I didn't get around. I'm not sure if I can change. I don't like how the first options are give me money. I would rather it just show you, because you're not paying for anything. You don't get any exclusive stuff. I don't have time. I don't have, this podcast already drains so much of my time. I don't have any like newsletter or, bonus episodes. Now, sometimes there are bonus episodes, but I just give them for free. What you're doing is you're supporting me. If you've ever tuned into the National Public Radio, NPR, they make donation calls all the time. They have these big fundraising rounds. So do politicians. So do, it's part of certain industries. And if YouTube won't recognize me for the hard work that I've done, that's fine. But I'm going to start recognizing myself. And I don't like the way that sounded. I'm a big fan of YouTube. I think that their partnership program is actually very fair. I don't know what I'm trying to really say here. Point being, I think it's $8 a month. And also there's no option to just give one time. I wish that was an option. It probably is. I just got to mess with it some more. It goes $8 a month. And then it's like something like $100 a year. And then like maybe $200 and something a year for like a founders edition. But you don't get anything. You don't get anything at all. And that goes directly to I pay taxes on it as a business that I would be selling you this media. So that goes directly to my bank account. And I'd love to, I would definitely start updating Substack post-wise on how the money's being spent if I started to make money, but I don't see myself making money anytime, immediately soon. Matter of fact, I spend money more than I make money. We're getting to the frat stuff. We're getting there. We are getting there. If you're a brother that I spoke to today, I'm sorry if you had to sit through all this stuff. I know this is not why you're here, but you probably didn't. There are chapters. So you probably just skipped to the chapter titled Frat Mingling or whatever ChatGPT titled it. AI does my chapter titles. Sometimes I go back and rewrite them, but think of it this way. I already filmed the podcast, edit the podcast, post the podcast. Ain't no way I'm going to sit through and watch myself the whole way through. You know what I could do is I could keep records of timestamps as I go. That would be a nice break in speaking, actually, with a pen and paper. Because as much as AI is a tool, I feel like I want to push it away as much as possible. I don't want it to have any footing in the creative process. And believe it or not, just the titles of the chapters, those are, whatever. Okay. So I made a Substack, and then I got my butt in the car and went home. When I got home, I was supposed to get right to social media. I turned the lights on. It was daytime. I've been pushing for a long time to do the episode in the day. This new studio that I've got has these 2 double wide giant windows aiming at both seats behind both cameras. Yet I still haven't gotten to utilize it. There still hasn't been, in the 3 episodes that I've been here, a daylight episode. And there should be. It's just, it's got to happen. But I didn't get anything done. Scrolled some reels, sat in bed, and then headed to the basketball courts. My very good friend Harris Khan, I think the second most featured guest probably third most featured guest on the show, is in town from Greensboro, High Point. And that kid can make a 3-pointer, let me tell you that. So we went to Carmichael. He got me in for free, and we shot some shots. I lost, should have won. They were calling carries on me, and it's like... But let me tell you, I held back on this one dude. He was like, he was like my arch nemesis for the pickup deck. And also, I'm out of shape when I have arch nemesis in pickup. Usually when I'm in shape, I'm just outworking everybody and like I have like stoic mindset. When I'm out of shape, I tend to get more picky and like start with the trash talk, that kind of deal. And that's not the game that I like to play. So I got to start going back on my walks and all and eating a bit healthier. Before I went to the court, I had a can of Mountain Dew and mashed potatoes. 6 servings of mashed potatoes. Disgusting. Regardless, on my way out of the gym, I only made it through one game. I lost, so I didn't get to play the next game. I probably would have. And I'm on this bike, my rickety bicycle, because my other one's got a flat tire. Brand new tire got flat. And I'm passing, I think it's the Colin Smith Fields or something, the big soccer fields next to Carmichael while you're headed up to Western Boulevard. And there's frat tents. All the frats are out in numbers, and they're everywhere. And we'll put it this way. Around my 30-minute mark after drinking my Celsius, I'd say like my 2-hour mark. I'd say the buzz of the drink started to fade. And I think when I do stuff like lots of caffeine, I tend to I try to keep the high going. So I got it in my head when I was here and I was eating my mashed potatoes and Mountain Dew. I was like, all right, I'm going to the basketball courts. I'm going to ask someone on a date. I'm going to shoot a shot. I hate the word shooting a shot, but I'm going to ask a girl on a date. And that did not happen. I didn't feel comfortable doing that. So I didn't. But as I'm passing those frat tents, I was like, yo, I should probably make use of this energy I have. Like, there's a reason. It's not every day that I try and push myself to ask a girl on a date, right? So it's like something's going on up in my head. I'm buzzing. Let me go shove my face in front of all these guys that are, mind you, I said, the frats are awesome and I love the frats and the guys, they're so diverse and there's a place for everybody, but it's not just a Greek life thing. Groups of people that you're not a part of are extremely intimidating. Extremely intimidating. I think the worst. So it was a big U shape, right? And it also to begin my story, right? I walk in and I immediately see somebody I know that's part of the frat commission, and so I just go to my first tent. I already had kind of mapped my route out. I'm just gonna go tent to tent to tent and grab one person from each tent and pitch my show to them, tell them I want to be on. So even offer $5 for first 10 minutes. I know I shouldn't be doing that, but I think I should, honestly. I'm so damn passionate about this. And he was like, I'm already getting a cold shoulder. And he was like, yo, don't do it. Don't go around every tent. This is not like an open event. Everybody here is already rushing, has a bid. I'm not exactly sure how the rush process goes, but it was very clear that it wasn't like an open season, like come and see if you fit into this community. It was like we have our people and our people are at our tent kind of deal. And I pushed through that because I walked through those gates to that field and I was already like, I'm making it to every single tent. And it was interesting to see how it went, right? Because I don't know necessarily how much time I spent at each tent, but I started to sort of get the hang of my pitch, and I felt like my nerves kind of went up and down, and it made time feel weird. But to sum it up, I think some tents I was under for like 10 seconds, some I was under for like 5 minutes, some I talked to one person, and it's very much so like, would you like to be on a podcast? Not interested, walked away. Some people I was like, honestly felt like I was trying to sell drugs to. I was, because to be fair, man, any guest of this show will tell you, at least I think, that it's definitely an experience. It ain't like, well, I wouldn't know. I never smoked meth. But, it's certainly gets the blood flowing because it's a time capsule. What you say stays. It's not, like, it's like a lot of pressure, I feel like, in a fun way. So, that's okay. We went chronological. Now I don't feel like I'm crazy. Now you're kind of filled into the loop. We are recording. All is good in the world. And the 20-minute mark hits. And now I'm fucking cooked. Sorry, pardon my language. But now it's like, what, now what do you even say? What do you even say? Not much. Not much. Not much. If you're, I feel like now I should address all the guys that I spoke to. Should I go through my phone? Oh, voicemail. Hold on. We might have a guest inbound. You're live on Keeping It Real episode 244.
No way.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm lying. You're not.
Yeah.
No, wait. I'm double lying.
Wait.
You are.
No. You're triple lying.
No triple. We're at the 20-minute mark. Can't you hear it in my voice? I have the podcast voice on.
It sounds like your regular voice. I feel like you're just
good.
Podcast.
Talk to me. I'm an authentic dude. It's a good selling point.
Yeah. Hey, what if I come over right now?
That's what I was expecting you to do. Your mic is just sitting here waiting. You can make it with 10 minutes to spare.
Okay, let's talk about it, dude. I have a lot of stuff to unpack.
Good, because, dude, I just unpacked so much. I literally just said I'm cooked. So please get here as fast as you can. Oh, you're gonna be so proud of me, bro. Did you see that frat event?
Don't tell me.
Okay. Get here.
Okay.
Bye. That's what this show is about, baby. No, that was Harris. His name is Harris Khan. Oh, will you come sign this? It's going up on the wall, and you were in the episode. I'm gonna have people start signing their thumbnail. Sign it like obnoxiously, like over the letters. Do you have a signature? I feel like you must have a signature with what you do with those sheep. Hell yeah, that's dope, dude. And that's one hell of a signature. Nice. Now Brandon's got to sign it. Oh, my goodness. All right, well, we wait for Harris. I hope Harris talks to me all about his ex-girlfriend. That's what I want to talk about. Somebody else's ex-girlfriend. Because the longer we sit here, the more I'm going to start to talk about. I mean, what sucks is this episode isn't going to come out until 7:15 tomorrow morning. I just went and I pitched this show to more people in a 1 hour time span than I ever have in any week that I've ever been doing it. Seriously, how crazy is that? So it's like, I gave them the handle, my name, my phone number. If they have any interest at all, they're going to look at it. And the most recent episode has horrible audio. Not only that, but it's very much like a return listener episode, I feel like. I talk about some girl I think is pretty. It's like, what's new, bruh? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, it was not. Now, I'm going to say it wasn't my best work, but I also was thinking while I was in the car I wasn't even in the car. Can you see how jacked up I am right now? I was on a bicycle. I was thinking as I was coming back home that I'm always hard on myself. Like new eyes on the show or not, I would still be like, that episode sucked. But you know who said it was good? My mom. Thank you, Mom. I know I need to hear that because I do. I do. I need it. Holy. No, haven't even done an Instagram reel. I think, what I could do is film the reel live on the show. Oh yeah, why not? We'll just whip the phone out. Sometimes you just gotta event at 906 Cheney Road. I don't mean to. Oh, dude, an event. I think he wants me to rush this frat. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna. That's what you gotta assume. One of these guys. There's an event tonight. I'm flattered, but wow, this is a lot of phone numbers. Okay. So there's some immediate, gotta have them on, like guys that I saw that I actually had known prior and that I actually asked for prior. Okay, I feel like I have to write this down. Should I do a while we wait for Harris? I'll just do a segment. I know it's not like in Keeping It Real fashion. When we're doing the show, we're very much so supposed to be locked in on the show and only the show, and we're not supposed to get distracted. But I have an excuse, right? It's for the show. So first up, we have. All right, I'm just going to shout out everybody's name that I got and do a couple honorable mentions about a few gentlemen that made me feel very welcome and had a big smile on their face. So if you hear any stories, maybe you can look out for them in the future. I hope every single person that I spoke to comes on. I really do. Okay. So first up, we have Ben from Motorcycle Club. I'm just going to do first names because I know people, aren't opting in to be, blasted, and I've definitely done that in the past. So we're just going to stick with first names. Actually, we'll do first name, last initial, just so there's no confusion. Okay. So starting off hot with Ben. Ben, you were my first yes. I've always thought you were a super cool guy when I met you at the motorcycle club. And that Honda Goldwing you bought is genuinely my dream bike. A big bike suits you, my friend. If you're listening to this, I am scheduling a text to send to you right now. I just kind of leaked the fact that I scheduled texts. So if any of you that are about to get a text from me are hearing me say this, please don't think it's any less authentic. It's just because I'm actually can't keep track of it all. So I'm going to do tomorrow at this time, and I'm going to say, okay. All right. So maybe I can just go down the list and I can do the texting later. Okay. David Z. Okay. So these are all in order. David Z. I when I think back, I spoke to Ben, and then this was like my third pitch. Ben was my second pitch. My first pitch got shut down, and I was like, what a way to start the circle. Just getting an absolute shutdown. I talked to like 4 different people, and I bounced from person to person to person under the same tent, and they were all like, yo, get away. Well, they weren't actually. They were very nice to hear me out. But I just didn't. I feel like you have to detach yourself ego wise when you're doing stuff like this, because it's not like you're trying to. It's not like you're like, I don't know. It's like you're hoping to find someone that is interested in putting themselves out there so that you two have mutual interests. That's the goal. You're like you're fishing, right? And you hope the right fish bites. That's a great analogy. So, David Z, I can't say that you were too memorable on fish biting, but that doesn't mean that I don't want you on the show. I know I said this to you. I know because I said this to all the guys that I spoke to. I never tapped anybody on the shoulder or singled anyone out that I didn't think would do great on the show. A first impression means a lot, and I know a lot of you I spoke the first words to, but the way that you stand, is a first impression. The way that your shoulders are and your body position. I'm telling you, I didn't walk up to anybody that I thought looked closed off or shy. These gentlemen, David Z, while I might not remember exactly your face, I can remember for a fact that I want you on the show. All right, moving forward. Come on. Gotta get this done before Harris gets here. Ethan H. Dalton, you were very nice to me. I remember you. Zach. Okay, Zach. I got a yo. Oh, that's Ian. I think Zach and Ian were together. Zach and Ian were together. I believe Zach showed me more interest just off of just what. The guy, I got no name for that 919 number. Connor C. And then I got Ben J. And then here we get to the point where, they're like, I think this was an interesting thing to a lot of people. They're sitting with their frat bros, and this is like an outlier moment, kind of like when a cracked out person comes into the restaurant you work at. It's like, oh, this is out of the ordinary. So I felt like there were more eyes on me than just the people that I was immediately talking to or first introduced myself to. So I started to sort of project my voice more and turn my body so the whole of the tent and everyone that might be having an ear open felt like I was addressing them personally best I could, right? I've never really public spoken, but I imagine this is a window into that world. So a lot of I think 2 or 3 tents, one in particular, I wish I remember the name of the frat, but they knew people that I knew. There was girls that I knew. They knew that I was from Myers Park. They made me feel very, very welcome. I remember for them, on a small Chick-fil-A thing I tore off, I left my name, phone number, name of the show, and I think I might have added my handle for Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Pretty cool that it's the same for all four, right? Come on, tell me about it. And they stuck out to me. They were some cool. I felt like we were all from the same place. Like a lot of them were from Charlotte. It just felt like, right? We knew a lot of the same people. I will say Georgia Martin was someone that we both knew, so that they can know I'm talking to them. You guys were very welcoming, and you didn't have to be, and you stood out. You definitely did. As a group, you had like a very good group dynamic. A lot of these other places, there were like many different groups. So it's like, but with you, I was able to speak to all of you guys in a big semicircle. And I just felt like, I felt kind of really grateful that like such a close-knit group of guys all decided to simultaneously, hear me out. You know what I'm saying? Like all it takes is one of you or two or three of you to be like, yo, leave. Cause that happened to me a couple times. And I, can't say I wasn't expecting that sort of thing. I don't know if you're a guy and you've ever tried to get into a frat party. I don't think I've ever been. I have on Dixie Street as when I was like 18 or 19. I definitely got told, no, you are not getting in. It's just sort of like the atmosphere and the environment. You gentlemen made me put a big smile on my face, regardless of if any of you come on the show or I ever see all of you in a setting like that ever again. I wanted to be known that I remember all your faces. And it was also near the end of I was also, I think, on a bit of a high because I was like, oh my God, I almost did it. Like only 3 more tenths to go. I'm almost done. Dude, I'm talking so much about this. Harris is going to come and I'm going to want to tell him about it. But I don't want to talk to him about it. I'm going to have to, you're going to see when Harris walks in this door and he's going to be like, what? You got to tell me. I'm going to try and fit it all into like 2 sentences. But then that was the end. That was the end. One of the gentlemen before I got to that tent that I was talking about made me feel welcome was a younger cousin of a girl that I went to prom with my senior year of high school. Small world. I hope he comes on the show. Yeah, I feel kind of weird because sometimes I just say weird things. Like I told one tent that I had, I told one, I like dove into like the different races and genders of guests that I've had on. Like, why did I do that? Like, why? And then for the gentleman that was related to the girl that I took to prom, I at one point just blurted out that like his family had nice genetics. Cause I remember his older brother was a senior when I was a freshman. And dude, he stood out to me as one of the most like in shape people I'd ever seen in my life. That's kind of how it goes when you get to high school though. It's like, oh my God, these guys are 18 and I'm 14. Like they have like armpit hair, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know how he took that. I wish I would have listened to him more because I want him on the show. Okay. And then I biked home and now we're here and Harris walks in the door right now. Dude, are you just listening to me? Come sit down. Save my soul. Thanks, man. All right. I told all of you that I'd be bothering you. If you gave your phone number to me, I made it very clear that you were subject to being bothered. Okay, so I don't want you telling any of your brothers that you just can't get this guy to stop texting you. All right. There's a block button for a reason. I'm sure I've been blocked plenty of times. Use it if you got to. Or just text me and say, yo, I'm not interested. That'd be cool too. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I can't help but feel, I just have this inkling, living in this college town and being around these frats for the past almost 4 years, I can't help but read that nice, seemingly nice text. It says, what's up? We're having an event. And they even offer to give me a ride. I can't help but think they want to haze the ever living shit out of me. Like, is that like, does that get through to you? Like, that's kind of like, I remember when I was 18 and I just moved here and I was at community college, like I still am. And I You'd hear about these parties. And, when you just move to a new place and your parents drop you off at college, you're like hungry for stuff. I still am very hungry for stuff, but now I like to define my hunger for more of like a house party where I don't know anybody. That's fun, right? But a rush party, I've been to them. You know what I'm saying? Like I also feel like I'm starting to age out of it a bit. I mean, I feel like it's mostly younger people that are, but it's when I first discovered the idea of which it was almost like, I mean, they know what they're doing. And I'm not saying, listen, I'm not trying to be like, they're like trying to trap people at all. That's not, I don't mean to imply that I think that that's what's going on here. I think that, I actually thought this on my bicycle. This is what I think. I think that looking back, I didn't rush a frat. And as I continue to look back, that seems to be a moment in my life where a choice was made. Do I think anything would have been better if I was in a frat? No. Do I think anything's better now that I'm not in a frat? No. Do I think joining a frat would have made my life any worse? No. Do I think that not being in a frat has made my life any worse? No. Are you catching my drift here? But regardless of all those no's, is definitely something that happened. Like I said, I knew a lot of people walking from tent to tent. Turns out a lot of them, they knew me from Jersey Mike's even, and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. And, like I said, that one tent made me feel very welcome. Like I could definitely see myself, like that. It's definitely the kind of thing where like it's very cool that they all probably live together and they throw these parties where it's just them. And it's like, that's a cool thing, But on the flip side, I don't have any dues to pay. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Cause I feel like I should still, but I feel like that's the kind of thing where like, I'm just going to say, hey man, thanks for thinking of me. I'm goes a long way. Nah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say I was in the middle of a podcast, but I've talked about my podcast too much. I just said I'm looking for 8 hours tonight, and the invite went a long way. Colin, I can't exactly put a face to your name, but I know we spoke together. Okay, so you want to think about this, like you want to do your best to push yourself outside of your body and think about it from all perspectives, right? And I think that I could have definitely came across as pushy. I think I could have definitely came across as arrogant. I could have came across as ignorant. I could have came across as insincere. And I'm saying those things first. That should reveal to you that in reality, I actually feel like I was very genuine. And I had a very open ear. And I think I did a really good job. I did my best to respect everybody's time. I did my best to, make it happen. And, you think like right when you finish talking to somebody and you say like, thanks for the time, and you walk to the next tent and tap somebody else on the shoulder, you have to imagine that everyone that was just listening to you or everyone that you just spoke to is watching you just go to the next tent. And that very much, I feel, kills the vibe a little bit, right? Like, I feel like it's much more magical if you feel like you really did get singled out truly. But I mean, I have like a bit of a philosophy, everybody might not understand that I really do think 99% of people would crush this show. I mean, I think to not crush this show, you would have to come on and like vandalize my equipment and smash my cameras. Like that's kind of the threshold. If you come on and you don't break anything on purpose, people have broken things on accident. And that's one thing but like, if you don't, as long as you just stick to your words and you're able to sort of be like somewhat civilized, you do whatever the hell you want. I had some guys talk. I don't know if they were a joke. Like it's hard to understand if like people are just trying to make their buddies laugh and they're making fun of me or what. But Harris needs to get here because the more I sit here alone, the more I'm going to start to sound like a complete, like as you sort of like, exist alone for more and more time, you start to go absolutely crazy and you start to say absolutely crazy things. Like I was about to say something about like people guys thought I was a loser, but it's like, why would I even say that? The only way to make that true is to start saying it. Why would I even think that? Like, that's none of my business. Like, why do we even start talking about how I was perceived in the first place? That is such a waste of cognitive function. I should be thinking about, I guess, what's funny is that the number one question that I got right after my first pitch, and the first thing I would usually say was like, how would you feel about being on my podcast? That's pretty much what I would say. What I got back most frequently is, what's it about? And I like, dude, I don't have an answer. I would just say the title. And then I would say like the only constant is maybe I'm in every episode. So Harris, dude, you couldn't come any sooner. I'm serious. I'm dying. You're killing me. You are killing me. If we get to the 1 hour mark before you get here, I'm sorry, bro, but I'm turning this off. I have to post it. I have to go to bed. Life is so exhausting. 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 Life is so. Should I draw some lines? Because like a lot of these guys, I feel like are gonna want me to I might get people interested in me coming to their fraternities to like set up my equipment, and then they're gonna want to have like 8 of their friends on, and it's gonna be like it's not really like. I always push myself to sort of provide for the guest, and I don't, necessarily think that people take advantage of that, because like, it's always, I feel like, pretty transparent that I desperately want people on the show. But it is something that sometimes I think, sometimes I'll get to this point where it's like, what am I doing here? Like, why did I come out here and set these cameras up for all these people? And like, they don't even seem to care about this at all. But I still would do it. I think that's just a thought that I gotta think. Why am I thinking that thought? Like, why do I care if they care? Like, I didn't ask them to care. I just asked that they want to be on a guest. And inherently, if you become a guest, there's a threshold of caring that has to happen for that to happen, if that makes sense. So it's like, it's kind of like, it almost reminds me of being at work. I had to learn this lesson at Jersey Mike's. I gotta fix this framing. Hold on. At Jersey Mike's, you have these coworkers, and look, can you see right above my head? That's the start. That, my friend, is the start of what is going to be. Oh, my wallet is stuck in my. Is what is going to be a new Keeping It Real wall. I had so much fun completing the old one that we are ripping a new one. Here is the second thumbnail. Once it gets autographed by our guest, it's going right up there. I changed something. If you'll notice, this is not actually a thumbnail. This is the bottom of a cut Whole Foods paper bag that I think can hold 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 different thumbnails on it. That way I don't have to put 20 nails in for 5 titles, just 4, if you follow me. So what was I saying? You never know, do you? It's never something that you know. What I was saying. It's the ever elusive fact. What was Jack just saying? Let's talk to ChatGPT, man. Let's talk to Chat. Oh, I got 1% battery. Let's not talk to ChatGPT. Let's do. I said on the phone to my mom today that I was gonna like interject like separate pre-recorded ad reads for my Substack, but I've already mentioned it in the show, and that's more work. And maybe I'll do it at the end if I can remember, and I can just cut and insert. That would be cool. That would be cool. I'll probably do it something like this. Maybe we could just cut. Maybe this could be this. Maybe if you already heard this at the start of this episode, then that means that I nailed it first try. You ready? Wait. I know the intro music just turned off, but can I just steal 30 seconds of your time? I have a Substack now. Jack, what's a Substack? It means you can give me your money. to put it bluntly. I'm looking for donations. On Substack, it's formatted as subscription, and I would love it if you considered. This show is... Yeah, that's all. That's all. I don't think I nailed it. I think the start was good. Hold on, let me try again. No, we're not going to do that. I hate second takes. I'll use the first take. I hate second takes. Every time you do a second take, you reignite the part of your brain that says you're allowed to do second takes. If you never do a second take, then you nail everything first take. You know what I'm saying? Like, people will do 20 takes and still have just a little bit of like a stutter on the 20th take, but they'll use it just because it's the 20th take. You get what I'm saying? Like, you just got to rip it and dip it and let it fly. I do that a lot on Instagram. I love to rip it on Instagram because Instagram, I feel like I've been getting this like superiority complex a little bit lately when it comes to social media, because ain't nobody doing it like I'm doing it. You heard? Nobody is doing it like I'm doing it. I will see my friends and all, and everyone I know, they'll post a picture, right? And it's like maybe a once a month thing on average for these people. There's an out group and there's an in group. You want to be like me? You got to work like me. Talk to me, baby. Come on, hit my line, 704. Oh, not yet. Maybe if you subscribe to my Substack, I'll give you my phone number. Nah, that's weird. That's like OnlyFans. But I feel I kind of put myself in their shoes. And when I used to do that, make one post, just a couple pictures once a month, maybe tag a couple friends that are in the post and write a good caption and hope for hundreds of likes. It would be this whole thing. And it was like, yes, there's a beauty in like a little going a long way, but there's this newfound like power that I feel like I'm getting to wield, and I'm doing my best to do it responsibly, I promise. That is sort of like, I can, like right now, right? Like if you're listening to me right now, I promise you, I'm not thinking too hard about what I'm saying, but that doesn't mean I don't mean what I'm saying. Like I have this like stage that I get to stand on and just say stuff. And let me tell you, man, I didn't know I needed it, but I needed it. I used to date this girl and I was so in love, and I'll never forget her. And I felt like I wanted to like make a stage for her. And it's like that, that's cool. And I feel like it did a lot of good. But at the end of the day, that was not really like, that's not how like a partnership works. Like I don't feel like two people can both, like maybe that could still work, but it's kind of besides the point. This podcast was born out of desperate need to stand on the stage and be the only man on the stage. And I don't know why, but I felt like there had to be a lot to be proven, right? It's like in all these weird times, I find myself just like working really hard on something, but then it would always swap to the next thing or the next thing. And like, it would always be here or there. So I'm just like, all right, what's like a really broad thing that I could just dive into? Maybe a little bit of like a niche discipline to get swapped. But consistently I stay in the field of blank. And it just kind of came to fruition. Social media. I mean, I can run my mouth. And I see people running their mouth all the time. I've always seen people running their mouths on social media. And it's been a big point of like relating to them. Like, oh yeah, I want to watch this podcast because this dude runs his mouth just like I do sometimes. I relate to him a lot. And it's like this cool thing, because it's like, imagine how honored I would have been at any point in time if, anybody that like I like to listen to or watch on YouTube or Spotify was like, hey, jackkadis, I'd like you to come be a guest on my show. I know you're not famous. I know, but I want to sit down and talk to you, and I'd like my audience to see. Do you know how awesome that would have been for me? Do you know how amazing that would have been for me? And it ain't over yet, because let me tell you, as I become a podcaster, I feel like the type of person you want most on your podcast is someone that has their own podcast. So I'm waiting for that. That's definitely going to be a first that's coming up in my near future, going on a podcast bigger than mine. I haven't even been one that's smaller than mine, or, equal size for that matter. I haven't been on a podcast, period. But no, I would love to be. I would hijack that shit. I would talk and talk and talk, because I know what it's like to be a host, bro. It is hard. The only reason I've been able to yap your ear off today is because I am off of a Celsius, and I do not want to be off of a Celsius every day. I don't think this kind of energy is sustainable. I genuinely don't think it is. It's cool for the moment, and it's a fun episode for you to listen to maybe, but it's not like, this ain't me. I'm off the beans right now. My what happens when you drink caffeine? Your blood thins. Let's go to GPT. Let's read about what happens when your body on caffeine. GPT-5 GPT. Also, if this audio is messed up, I'm going to shoot up. I'm not going to finish that sentence. Okay. What does caffeine do to your body step by step? Time chunk by time chunk. Okay. Here's a step-by-step timeline of what caffeine typically does to your body after you drink it, assuming an average cup of coffee around 100. Oh, no. No. Let's do a Celsius. It had 300 milligrams. And I drank it at about 1 p.m. today. Is that Harris? Oh. All right. From 1 to 1:30 p.m., the caffeine was absorbed into my bloodstream. Subtle alertness started to creep in. Let me tell you, it definitely did. From 1:30, I remember. Ooh, that's good. Because I remember being so locked in on the conversation these girls were having next to me. Like, I could not get it off of my front desk. Like, if my mind was an office and there was a front desk with all the files that I had to address immediately, these random people's conversation, they were just yapping about life and tests and friends and stuff. They were probably high school age. I could not stop hearing it. And I wasn't trying not to hear it, but it was second nature alertness. It was almost like I was doing my math and I was hearing them at the same time. Not good. From 1:30 to 2:15, the 75-minute mark is the peak. My blood caffeine levels peaked. My sleep pressure is blocked and adrenaline rises. I feel focused, alert, possibly wired. Yeah, definitely. With 300 milligrams, expect heightened heart rate, jitters, or restlessness if sensitive. Yeah, all those things were happening. Although I didn't necessarily feel my own heart rate. And I feel like it's weird for us as human beings to think about your heart rate actively because it calls into question how fragile everything is. And it's dang, I really am just sort of like a machine. Granted, a natural, weird biological one made of cells that we can't recreate ourselves, but what does that really mean much? We can be killed. It's thinking about heart rate is weird. So I don't remember my heart rate being high, but I feel like next time I drink something with caffeine, I should definitely try and feel my heart and be like, dang, this is fast. From 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m., about 5 hours after, I will have strong, steady effects. You'll likely feel energized, talkative, and alert. If you exercise, performance may be enhanced. Celsius is marketed for workouts. Okay. Another thing is these guys, I just introduced myself to a lot of people and that just ain't authentic. This ain't me. I'm gonna crash tomorrow hard. I'm gonna have a miserable shift at Jersey Mike's because I'm not gonna drink any caffeine. I hope not. I'm not gonna drink any caffeine. And it's I wonder how much less I would have spoken, how slower I would have spoken to these guys at these events. But it is what it is. It's important that I did it. From 6 to 8, caffeine half-life kicks in. About 150 milligrams still active. Still 1.5 cups of coffee. Energy is tapering but noticeable. This is the danger zone for sleep disruption later if you're sensitive. Ugh, horrible. From 8 p.m. to 1 a.m., roughly 75% cleared, but 75 to 100 milligram. At 1 a.m., enough to keep your brain from fully winding down. Fuck. Well, it's 10 o'clock, so that's probably bedtime. Overnight from 1 a.m. to 24 by 1 p.m. tomorrow, it's mostly cleared. But with daily use, you may feel a caffeine crash in the morning, headache, sluggishness if you don't redose. In short, you'll be buzzing through early evening. You'll likely still have caffeine in your system when trying to sleep tonight. Sleep quality could be impaired even if you do manage to fall asleep. Do you want me to map this out like an hour by hour clock, 1 p.m., midnight, morning? No, I don't want to. If you just skip to this chapter and you heard me say all that, and then just now what I said completely revealed that I was reading off ChatGPT. But that's cool. We learned a lot. I'm starving. I'm very hungry. I got good chicken I'm going to make. And we are 5 minutes till close. Harris is not going to make it in this episode. I might include his face. Let's call him. Let's call him 909. He called me. I didn't answer. I wonder if my phone's going to die. Yo, how much longer till you walk through the front door?
Whoa. Walking through the front door probably adds another 3 minutes. I don't know.
Make it sub 5.
Why?
Because I'm about to hit an hour.
Oh my God.
No, I'm staying. You have stuff you got to say. I'm staying live for you. My phone's at 1%. See you soon. Hurry. What are you going to do? According to ChatGPT, I'm still buzzing off that caffeine, so might as well put it to use. You know, what am I in a hurry to go to bed? I'm banned from bed apparently until 1 a.m. My sleep will be disrupted. Wait, so should I intentionally? Yo, you know what's setting in now? About the whole thing that I just did. I walked around and talked to all the frats. Now it's starting to set in that I'm starting to feel like an idiot. You know, I don't know if you ever like do public speaking or have a presentation or just do something that's very public oriented, like as an outlier, like that you don't normally do. And like, it's a big jump and like all of a sudden you're in front of a lot of new faces. I feel like it's very easy to slip into like the damn, I feel like I'm dumb. And I just kind of had that creep in. So I thought I'd just announce that creeped in. We'll see how that manifests or doesn't. I'm probably going to do my best to sort of acknowledge it, but not expand upon it. So should I intentionally wait until 1:30 a.m. to sleep? It reduces sleep depth and quality, even if you can fall asleep. For most people, a 300 milligram dose at 1 p.m., that's like drinking a small latte right before bed. If you wait until 1:30, here's what happens. Don't force yourself to stay up later. Go to bed when you feel naturally tired, even if that's earlier than 1:30 a.m. You might take longer to fall asleep or toss around a bit, but you'll still net more rest than delaying. Hacks to help offset the caffeine. Keep your room cool and dark. Check. Try relaxing activities, reading, stretching, shower. Yeah, I could do that. Magnesium or herbal tea. Would you like me to give you an estimate of how much actual sleep depth you might lose tonight? Yeah, sure. It looks like I'll probably expect 30 to 60 minutes less total sleep overall. All right, so it looks like I'm going to be sleeping all the way up until like, I'm just going to wake up right for work, and that will give me 8 hours. And with those 8 hours, I will actually just have gotten 7 or 6. Okay, well, Harris, please walk through that door. Your boy can't do it anymore. Your boy cannot do it anymore. Your boy can't do it anymore. Your boy can't do it anymore. Your boy cannot do it anymore. Your boy. $5 from 10 minutes is a great rate. Think about that. That's $30 an hour. But if you're still watching this and I spoke to you and I gave you that offer, I did not specify. It's $5 for the first 10 minutes and you're only getting $5. Because, bro, I am not made of cash, and I'm embarrassed to say that I dipped into my savings for New York City to start to like kind of throw that in, like, oh, I'll pay you, it's important. It's important to me, so I'm starting to spend a little bit of money, just a little bit, just a little bit. Can you blame me? Probably. Can you blame a man? Probably you can blame a man. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Hey, let me freestyle. We can do that. Y'all down for a freestyle? I don't want this episode to get copyrighted though. We can look for maybe perfect timing. Sit. Oh, you didn't get me any, did you? Did you get me? You did? Yeah. You got forks?
Yeah.
All right, dude. Okay, guess what I just did? Let me plug your mic in. Let me plug your mic in. Let me turn your camera on. Okay. Oh, it's your camera. So, first off, new setup.
I know. Awesome.
Like it?
Yeah.
I think it's very good for my mind and my workflow to not work where I sleep.
Yes.
I think you're a guy that can really respect it.
Well, you can't take both.
I'm speaking of it now. I had a selfie at like 1 p.m. Bad decision.
I was like,
The half-life of that shit is crazy.
no wonder you were lighting up the court, bro.
Dude, I was trying to take it easy, man, because I haven't been exercising, so I was like, chill on me.
You haven't been exercising. I only ever see you in a state of complete sweat.
Okay.
You want to know something amazing that happened? I ran into a guy. So I paid 1/3 of what I should have paid for this.
Sorry, you can keep talking. Really? How?
So here's what happened, right? Amazing. So first thing that happens is that I call you and you don't fucking pick up.
Yeah, I think that's what I have to pick up for.
No. And it was for me to get you food, so that's like.
I'm so glad you decided to take me food.
I just made you the exact same thing because I didn't know what you wanted.
It's what I want. It's actually what I want. Everything I wanted.
Anyways, I walk in. I'm like, all right, well, fuck, this asshole is not picking up. Then I walk in, and the guy. I look right to the table, right at the entrance, and it's this guy. And this guy, how do I know him? Well, he's my cousin's really good friend, but also the first I met him out of context. The first time that I met him, he was trying to cut the line at Cornerstone. So the way that he was cutting the line was me, Arul, and Sarvesh were doing a freestyle session in front of Cornerstone, and instead of so they were doing the freestyle, I was recording. He comes up trying to cut the line, so he just starts freestyling with us. And the first thing that he says, I shit you not, and this is my introduction to him, is, "Yo, I be sucking mad dick." Paul. and I still have the video, and he asked for it earlier today, and we pulled it up and watched it, relived that moment.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the first time that I met him, and like he just happened to know my cousin, and like I yeah. Anyways, the guy that he was with was this guy named Jerry, right? Okay. Thought experiment. I say the name Jerry. Describe the person you're seeing in your head.
White, maybe a bit of a belly, wearing a button-down, khakis.
Okay, exactly.
Whoa.
Okay, no. But okay, now let's say I say the word. Okay.
Wandale?
No. I was gonna say Tyrone. Right. So Jerry does not look like a Jerry. And the first time that I ever met Jerry, I let him know that I did not think he looked like a Jerry, because he is like a 5'6" black guy with a great smile, right? Like that was,
you said exactly like that's what you pictured.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like what I just.
Yeah. Right, like I'm saying, I agree with your representation of what a Jerry looks like, and this Jerry that I met did not look like that. So the first time I met him, yeah. So I was like, "Yo, bro, you look like a Tyrone." And for the entire night, I referenced him as Tyrone, right? And I thought it was hilarious. I thought I was the funniest guy in the room. Get a text later that night, from his friend Kadis, and he's like, "Bro, don't be doing that bullshit. Don't call him that. Like that's mad fucked up, right? And I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize like he was that upset about it, right? And I asked Tegas to send me his number because I didn't know Jerry at all. I just knew Tegas and the other guy. He just never texted me back after that, right? So I never even got the apology, like the chance to send the apology because Tegas just left me on red.
You could just send an apology, and if you left on red.
But yeah, but no,
make it a voice memo.
No, brother. I'm saying I didn't even get the chance to send it to Jerry because Tegas left me. Yeah.
Well, you can send Tegas a voice memo.
Show this to Jerry. Anyways,
or maybe it seems like Tegas was the one that was more hurt.
Yeah. I from what I got, because I was like, as soon as I realized it was Jerry, like that was the guy, I literally got on my knees and I was like, bro, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, bro. Like, let me make it up to you. And I was like, oh, are you getting food? Are you getting food? Let me get the next bowl for you, whatever. Right? Okay. So he's like, I don't even remember what happened, bro. I was so drunk. And okay, what was really noble of him and really strange at the same time was he didn't remember any of it, but I was like very adamant about apologizing to him. So he gets to the front of the line and I'm like, hey, dude, do you want to know what I did or do you just want to live with it? And I think 9 times out of 10, what do you think people are choosing?
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Really? Okay, what would you do in that situation? Imagine somebody came up to you in a Chipotle apologizing, right, for something, and you don't know what it is, and they're about to pay for your meal.
It would depend entirely on if I remember the face and name or not. If I remember the face and or the name, but not what they did, I don't care. But if I can't place the person, then like tell me anything you can tell me. If that's what you can tell me, then tell me that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he did not remember anything about me at all. I was like, oh my. So when I first met him, I was like, oh my, I'm so sorry. And I thought he remembered me because he embraced me back. He thought I was just doing like a bro hug. Because when I looked at him, I was like, oh my God, you don't remember me. He was like, no, sorry, bro. I was like really drunk that night. So he chooses and he says, I'm just going to live with it. And I was like, wow, that's
dope.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to live with it is what he says. So that was really cool of him, right? He doesn't know what I did, but he was like, hey, you're a good dude for doing this, which again, I'm not like trying to self-belate, but
you
like,
are a good dude.
Thanks.
You are a good dude.
Okay, but here's what happened.
Teeth.
Here's what happened. Well,
and a good smile.
Working on it. But this is where the amazing thing happened, right? The way that I sold it to him to let me pay for his meal was, hey, I have a free entree on my Chipotle app, right? So that was my pitch. I was like, well, I was gonna spend it anyways. Let me just get you something for it instead. It doesn't cost me anything to get it for you, so whatever, right? We're good. I get to the front and I'm checking out, right? I'm like, okay, I got this bowl, I got that other bowl, and then I got the guy behind us's bowl, yes. Right? Okay. Apparently this guy is new, right? So I'm like, I take him through my regular process. Like if you're a Chipotle vet, you know, it's like, can I scan my rewards card? Okay, great. Now can I scan my coupon? Okay, great. Right? I scan my rewards card. He's like, okay, good. I scan my rewards, like my free entree redemption, and it goes through, but some other guy kicks him off the register, right? Because he's like, oh, you're a noob. You don't know what's going on here, right? Little does that, and I watched the first time when I scanned it, I saw the price go from $28 to $20, right? And I'm like, okay, well, at $20, that's not bad. I got like 3 meals out of it, and we're gonna feed we're gonna have full bellies tonight, right? But right as it hit $20, the other guy pushed him off, and he was like, sorry, that didn't go through. Scan it again. And I scan it again, and it goes down from $20 to $11. I swear to God, bro.
Dude, I thought it was just Jersey Mike's that had that flaw. You can just, if you keep your coupon in your wallet, it just keeps on working. It's called, at Jersey Mike's, it's called Grassroots.
Okay.
And it's like 100% off. I know.
But yeah, I paid $11.80 for 3 bowls tonight.
You know what that really highlights?
Yeah.
How much of money printers these franchises are.
Yeah.
Because these hacks exist and you can use them, yet they can still afford all these people on payroll. Like the ladder is it's such a big pyramid. You know what I'm saying? Like, like the stock evaluations are so high to have that kind of loophole. Like imagine if you sold hot dogs at a hot dog stand. You'd be pretty crushed if 5% of the hot dogs got stolen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might not even profit. So I don't like that. It's amazing supply chains is what that is. All right. We have fraternal eyes on us.
My career is in supply chain. Who's
As I'm
fraternal?
biking back to here,
Uh-huh.
and I said I'd convey what I did in 2 sentences. I walked around and introduced myself to 13 separate fraternities under tents as someone with a podcast with interest in having a guest on. And I did it all in an hour and have about 10 phone numbers to start bothering tomorrow.
Okay.
End of thing. End of
Wow.
sentence.
I thought you meant your dad was watching the live stream when you said that sentence. The first sentence. We
My
have
dad
fraternal.
just- oh, no.
We have fraternal eyes upon us. Yeah. Hey. I never really believed in magic, and today has definitely hit my wallet a little bit because I had to have like eye exams and then insurance didn't cover some things, so it really hit like my finances. And I was feeling a little bit down about that. Like it's not a major hit. Like I'll be fine. I'm not gonna think about it next week probably.
Yeah.
So not that bad. But anyways, yeah, it felt good to get a small W today after having a shitty week ish. What about you? How are your roommates? I don't know.
Have you met these new guys yet?
Mm-mm.
Kalen's in that one. Brandon's in that one. Jose's still here. Very great guys.
Josue. I didn't know Josue was still here.
Juan.
I thought he was moving.
Nope.
Really?
He's finishing his senior year.
Oh, right.
Sam's back. Did you know that?
Yeah.
He lives in Cary.
Yeah. Oh, did he finally get a place with?
Yes, he did.
No way.
Most adult guy that I know. You're probably in second place. Only because you don't have like a long-term partner. In certain aspects, you're ahead of Sam, but it's like,
Yeah. I got it. I still live with my parents, so
that's by choice.
yeah.
Good choice. You're lucky your culture like welcomes that. It's like forbidden for me to move back with my parents.
Really?
I feel like I could make it happen if I pushed, but when things are forbidden like that, you have to like adopt a certain mindset to push. And it's like I don't even have the energy. Like,
What makes it forbidden? I've always.
well, we just don't move back in with our parents. Like it's just like where I grew up, how my parents grew up, how my family has. It's just like you go to college and then hopefully you don't come back. Maybe you come back for like a year, 2 years, 3 years.
Is that really what the parents want? Because like my parents love having me around.
Yeah, they said they do. It's weird because they say that they do, right? But maybe their parents are strange, right? Because they're like infinitely wise and they used to change your diapers.
Yeah.
So maybe they say.
Are they though? I feel like the thing that I've gotten from growing up is that my parents actually don't really know. Like they were just winging it, right? And all figuring it out along the way.
That's like an undertone.
Okay.
But like I feel like winging it is definitely different than not doing it. They have that on us. Like we've never done it. So like they have like,
yeah,
I don't know.
But yeah, what's your point? Like that they say they want us to come back, but what is the infinite wisdom?
The infinite wisdom is like, say my mom wanted nothing more for me to move back to Charlotte and live, if not in the house again with her and dad, like one neighborhood away.
Right.
How would she go about influencing or getting what she want? Well, I tell you, she would not ever tell me that she really wanted that.
Why?
Because what's that going to do? I don't think she would ever want to feel like I did it just for her. I feel like to be a good parent is to let your kid have complete freedom.
I see.
Like maybe your parents aren't so much like this, but mine, like they had guardrails for me, just making sure like he doesn't kill himself or like he doesn't, go to jail for life. Like those, but they were loose guardrails, and I slammed them hoes with the ball every time. I was not using one of those Down syndrome ball ramps. I was really trying to see if I could break the guardrail with the bowling ball.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck the pins. And now the guardrails are down-ish. I still have them. Now that I'm back in school, Dad's back on helping me with rent and food and all, even though I still work. And that's like I feel like my parents knew they were going to become parents, and this is sort of what it meant to be good parents to them because they've succeeded. I genuinely believe that all hardworking people achieve whatever it is that they decide to achieve.
Really?
Yeah. I think if you're where you are, it's because you wanted to be there. And if you want to be somewhere, you can be somewhere if you just decide you're going to be there. You can't decide continuously that you want to. That's like, that doesn't really do anything. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like me too. I can't believe I just went and talked to all those frat guys. I have a thing with frats, man. All my friends went to frats and I felt like excluded. Like it's a weird thing for me mentally. And yeah, I drink a Celsius, you know, but like,
where did you find a tent of a bunch of frat guys?
at the soccer fields. It was like closed off. It wasn't even like for new people. It was for people like already were like rushing. So like the first tent, I learned that, but I didn't let it stop me.
What did they tell you at
the first tent? Someone was like, "You should just go home." Like, yeah, dude, frat will be very cold.
No, yeah,
but I think that being very cold is a very good skill that a lot of people don't develop. It's important to be cold. It is when you don't care. Don't be warm. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like you ask a girl on a date and she's super warm and bubbly and like, oh my god, like.
Yeah.
Yes, like pick me up at 8, and then she ghosts you. Like, don't do that. Like, we all hate that girl. Like,
yeah,
just tell me no.
No is a superpower, and some people are pleasers, so they don't do that. It's interesting. I'm proud of you for just continuing after they told you no a bunch of times.
It was only like 15%, 15%. And then like the next 2 or 3 tents, I got yeses.
So what was your pitch? What did you go up and say? Hey,
pretty good. I had a pretty good pitch.
Okay.
So dead in the eyes, right? Like very much so, like because I feel like for Greek life, fraternal, like it's like an alpha dog kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you can't like be shy and timid, you know. And I have the age, I have like the stature and the life experience, so there's no reason for me to be like nervous.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of. It's not like the nervous like hope I fit in. It's the nervous like I hope I get guests. You know. So. First things first, eye contact. You pick that one guy under each 10, the first one that you see, and
you don't do like an analysis of. Well, if I get that guy, looks like he.
Well, it's like a 5 to 10 second, like it's like a
right, but
2 to 3 second analysis.
Right, but during that,
I think I'm just trying to convey.
Is there? Well, no. But I have a serious question though. Is it really just like the first guy you see, or is it who's like the biggest, who looks like the most alpha under there? Because if you get like some runt, right? Like the guy
which happened. I think I was talking to pledges.
Yeah,
they look like infants, and they were super like interested in all. And then the mood shifted, and I turned to my left, and this guy's like, "We're not interested," and I was like, "Oh shit, he owns these kids." I said goodbye. We did not exchange phone numbers.
Dude, that is such a courageous. What prompted you to do that? Like, was it
the Celsius buzz had me like wanting to ask someone out on a date, a stranger in person, a girl I thought was pretty, and like do that kind of pitch. But I decided to make it. I don't know what I decided. I don't know if I would have ever. I was biking home and I hadn't done it, and I didn't think I was going to do it. And then I saw the frat tents, and I was like, I am without a doubt buzzing because it's not every day that I feel the urge to like put myself on the line like that. So why don't we do it? Like I can detach myself a bit. I'm working on detaching myself a bit when it comes to like girls and such because it's very useful to be able to attach. Like there's me, and then there's the podcast that I own, operate, and run. So it's like. You know, some dude's like, yo, your podcast is fucking stupid. It's like, okay, that's cool. Like, I say that sometimes. Like, it's like, well, like, relatable. But if a girl, but it just hits different if a girl's like, you're gross. Like,
the thing about that, and I've been thinking about something related, is that we tend to take rejection from other, like, you know, if you go up to the tent and you ask them for people to be on your podcast, right? I don't think you take it as a personal ego hit. It's more of just, oh, these guys are weird. They're not cool guys, or like, especially like, remember when we were downtown and asking for high fives, right? If I got a rejection or somebody
You were.
yeah,
I didn't want.
okay. and if someone said no, I was like, oh, these people are late. I didn't take it as a personal like hit that they thought.
Yeah, I thought you were doing it very well.
Yeah,
You do everything you do very well. You're extremely intelligent.
thanks.
I hold the fact that I think that you're the smartest guy I've ever had on the show.
Thanks.
Well, see when that gets beat, I'll send you a text.
Okay.
Be like, yo, you just got fucking beat. The guy talking about quantum mechanics. You probably talk about quantum mechanics.
Did I tell you that?
What would they be like? Smarter than Harris?
No.
It would have to be like.
I promise you that's a low bar.
Oh, and humble too. He's humble too.
It really is. But no, like with the high five things in public or whatever, you just are like, oh, these people are lame, like they're not cool, right? And you do that with a bunch of other things. When you go ask for the podcast, right? Oh, like, okay, whatever, bro. They're not interested. It's like whatever. But like when a girl says no, you take that as like a personal hit on your character, like you aren't enough. And that it's so weird to feel that distinction, because you have to realize that in actuality, the high fives in public, the asking the frat guys to be on your podcast, and the girl
That's
thing.
how you make a podcast successful. That's how you get a girlfriend.
Yeah. And that is, all of them are the same thing, right? Like some people are your cup of tea, some people aren't. Some people like what you do, some people don't, and that's okay. And that's especially true for girls, right? You're gonna go ask one for your number, she's gonna say no. Just
And
not
her
your
twin might say yes. Her identical twin.
Literally, dude.
Identical. She might have said yes just 5 minutes later. You know what I'm saying? Maybe her dog just died.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're genuinely chopped. That's fine.
Yeah.
Girl, I know tons of girls that love chopped dudes.
Really?
Yes, I would want. If I was a girl, I would want my guy ugly.
Why?
Because I feel like.
Because like, can you show it? Like, you pull it up with your girlfriends? Like, I imagine that they're like, oh my god, girl, he's so ugly. Like, good. Like,
first off, fuck you, bitch. Second off, I think he's beautiful.
yeah.
As long as he like has all the body parts in the right spots, like, he's my man.
But are girls really having that type of conversation? Because like,
Yes.
as dudes, right? As dudes,
She gotta be hot.
like literally, literally.
That's like, and it's more of a discussion of like what you consider hot. In regards to, like
Yeah.
it's not. So I try to like consider lots of things hot, but like I do consider it hot. Like there ain't no way, because a girl needs to feel like she's hot. I feel like it can't. It's a bit of a different.
Yeah, and that's like, and so the issue is, I think guys sometimes think that girls think the exact same way.
Everyone thinks people think how they think.
Right. And they don't. And that's the hardest thing to take away, because I'm extremely judgmental of myself. Like, I'm very self-critical, right? And so then when anything happens with someone else, I'm like, oh, they're judging me the same way I would judge myself if I were them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. And it's terrible.
Life ain't no mirror. It's like a weird like multiplex web.
Yeah, you're not really looking into when you look at people, they're not looking back at you the same way.
Just because they're people don't mean they're you.
Yeah. Okay.
It ain't like AI.
Yeah. But yeah, that's been a big thing. Not to take those things personally. Also, did I like into the mic too much?
No, we probably both did.
Oh, okay.
This is like, sometimes things happen and I'm like, screw you guys. I work so hard. You could deal with my lips smacking. I'm so hungry. Thank you for that Chick-fil-A. And I didn't mean it. Don't screw you guys. Every single one of you that watches these episodes, even for just 5 minutes every day. If you're someone that goes and genuinely uses the chapters that I now input in the description, and you just skip to the parts that sound interesting, leave a comment. Because I have noticed that chapter implementation has increased watch hour time.
Really?
Yes. Because while you might not have an hour, you may have 20 minutes. You know, and the title might be intriguing, so you might want to skip to the part where they talk about that.
Right.
You know? So, and for the first 20 minutes or the first 10 minutes of the episode, I think I was talking about like the beginning of my day, but the title is for sure going to be, I think I'm going to title it, "This is what frat I'm rushing." I think I'm going to title it
totally just jizz all over your mic.
I think I'm going to title.
You know the thing that happens when you like start salivating and it just like squirts out from under your tongue? Like, have you ever done that?
Dude, I need to work to be more like conscious of like my like glands and such. Because I feel like that's a big. Seriously, I think that's a big.
Nobody's ever said that in the history of humanity.
It did. I just bro.
Original sentence,
Bro, they're gonna know. They're gonna know what I mean. They're gonna know what I mean because, bro, you gotta understand,
Yeah.
bro. You gotta understand that, like, I don't really like even know, like, what you just said was foreign to me. Like, I know what it means, but I can't relate to it at all. And I see you as a very healthy guy, so I feel like I should be paying attention to, like, when I'm salivating and when I'm not. For me, it's just like mouth eat, show food, like. You know, like you eat so much slower, and I think that's actually better for you.
It is. My dad always said that.
It is.
Yeah.
My grandma said it. My dad said it to me too. And I unhinged my jaw. I ate 6 servings of mashed potatoes today with a Mountain Dew to wash it down. Probably sub 3 minutes while watching YouTube. So I'm like, my
Is
mouth.
that all you had on hand?
Well, it was just in the fridge. I genuinely like I sought it out. I was like, yo, I'm about to go ball up with Harris. Let's see what I can fucking put in my body right now. And it was that.
I've never achieved feats like that before, bro.
I had to work to do it, and it's so damaging. Although you do hear these crazy stories about these German guys that like can like eat a whole airplane.
I know what you're talking about. His stomach had really strong acid, so he could dissolve metal.
Oh,
And you
that
worked on
and it
it.
took him like 20 years.
Yeah, but he dies and he fucking ate a plane.
True.
Like how many people? He's the only person in human history that gets to say I fucking ate a plane.
That's true.
And you'll be like, what the fuck do you mean, Trevor? You ate a plane?
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck do you think it means? I ate a fucking plane.
I ate a fucking plane.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, the reason I wanted to ask, or the thing that I wanted to ask you was, how do you not stay sentimental towards stuff? Because every time that I find myself coming back to NC State, I always get sentimental. I was like, damn, I wish I could just go back in time. And it feels, it doesn't feel like a good way to live, right? Like being sentimental about the past, like cherishing those memories is one thing, but like wanting to go back seems like a negative. Like why would you want to work backwards? But for some reason I do. And I feel like you do that, or you are not that sentimental. And the thing that I always think about is that car that you had that had everybody's signatures on it, and you just sold it. You were like, I don't need it. Fuck it. Move on. And you never mentioned that car again, at least not to me. And I thought that was amazing, right? Like I would think about that pretty often. I would probably mention it to people every now and then. Not a lick, not a word from you. How do you do that?
Well, look right here. So this is yesterday's thumbnail, and it's missing a signature.
Right.
Kaylin and Brandon were both in the episode. This is Kaylin's signature. And Brandon's, I imagine, will go right here. I'll probably ask him to put it right here. And this goes on the wall. So in about 200 episodes, a year from now, 11 months, every square inch of wall that is not trim or window or door, I might actually do the door. In this square right here,
Yeah.
it'll possibly bleed out into the living room because I don't think that it's just too many thumbnails. There's going to be lots of signatures.
Okay.
And it's like, I think that everything you do, I don't know, man. Maybe I could get really technical about it and say, well, I used to smoke a lot of weed and it genuinely affected my memory. And it was something when I was very young. I remember, like, you know what the side effects of a drug are, even the very first time you do it.
Right.
You know, you're not going to get long-term, lifelong memory loss by smoking weed one time. But it's almost like I knew I was going to keep smoking it. And it's almost like I was like kind of like curious about the side effects. Like, let's see what not remembering is like. And that definitely set me up on some sort of path. I know a lot of stoners can relate. A lot of stoners take pride in the fact that they don't remember shit.
How is that a pride? You don't remember your life? Why is that? Why would you want to be proud of that?
Well, you know, the human memory is very flawed, Harris.
Well,
You remember emotions, not actual facts. Matter of fact, I would say the more that you recall something, the less accurate your recollection is, which is scary because you think about accessing a file on the computer. You can click it as many times as you want, and it's always going to be exactly how you left it. And matter of fact, every time you click and open it, you're going to get you're going to be able to like study it and memorize it because it's always going to be the same. But now imagine that file is a little bit distorted, like it's playing a game of telephone with a file next to it back and forth every time you leave it alone on the computer. And then every time you come back, that telephone actually
like every time you open it, you knock a bit off or something like that.
Yeah, not even knock a bit off because you can hold memories and they can still be like powerful, but just because they're powerful doesn't mean that they're accurate.
Okay.
The human mind, because we did develop with a memory, a long-term one at that, but we remember long-term events as emotions.
Which I think you're right about. But okay, but my thing is that I'm on a different trajectory where it feels or that my memory is pretty reliable, right? That's what got me through school.
But would you be open to being like, yo, it's not?
Yeah, sure. But
I would encourage that.
okay.
Maybe that could help.
Where does that get me though? Okay, my memory's not memorable. But
You might be you might be out in the ocean a little bit. You might have to jump off of, yo, my memory is a pride point and a part of my character, to, yo, what's a pride point and part of my character? Because let me tell you, if it's not your memory, it's like you take this skill. People, I like including people. It's not the car. It wasn't the car. It was, it probably felt good for someone to ask if you would sign the roof of their car. That I remember that, and I talk about that. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. You see?
Yeah.
Because it's all about, like, I have guests on my show. Like, you take the things that matter and put them in new things. Like, it's so it's you or you, and you, and what you just told me was like, hey, my memory is. Did you say a pride point? Is that your words or my?
Those are your words.
You said
we can go back and watch it.
you said that's what got me through school. I have a very good memory.
Right. Yeah.
That's a skill to be able to tell someone what you're good at.
Yeah.
So maybe you just try out, like, I don't know, just fucking make some shit up. I'm very good at being on a podcast, because you've come a long way.
Okay.
You're better at this than you were at the start.
Yeah.
And then, you never know what it'll turn into, because a lot of times the people that are the best in things started off telling everyone they were the best.
Did they? But that last part is going to take me some time to process. But here's the thing. To me, that doesn't seem like the right route. In my head, before I came here, I tried to think of how you'd answer it, because I don't know.
Oh, the original question?
Yeah.
Which was, how do I let things go?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I didn't really, it wasn't a full answer. It was like, I said this, and then I said, well, if I'm technical about it, and then I kind of left off.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So if you had to actually answer.
I think that I do hold some things very close to my heart. Certain choices and actions in romantic relationships. Now, granted, like, as time continues to pass, it is something that I continue to tell myself. I don't actually know what I'm talking about. The longer it's been, the more it's true. I mean, I had someone that, like, I would consider my best friend, the best person ever, blocked me on social media, my phone number. She actually had her parents reach out to my parents to let me know I needed to stop trying to contact her.
Wow.
Because, well, I can't say because, but that for me, I decided to take that as a, like, yo, listen, like, you really thought that, like, you were doing the right thing, and you thought when she said this, she just, maybe she meant that. And it's like, you were clinging on, like, the only reason you thought that and you were so sure of what you thought is because of memories from 8 years ago. So it's like, it's okay to say, okay, maybe 8 years ago, I did have a pretty good idea of who she was. Maybe she actually hasn't changed that much in 8 years, but there's a lot of fail points in accuracy and, and so it's like, you have to move forward with the understanding that today might not be remembered in 8 years at all. So that's kind of crushing, but then you start to think in terms of like you do this very well. How did my days stack? You know what I'm saying? Because you whether or not you remember what you did, you're going to be where you're at. And wherever you're at there, you can have you to thank. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like you just woke up and was like, yo, I'm gonna be here. It was like you put yourself there, the past version of you, over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
So yeah, I let things go intentionally. It's scary, and it was learned skill, because you can't, being analytical, I feel like guys especially, you want to hold on to literally everything, and you want to have all the data that you can have, but computers have data. You have feelings. So just work on your feelings now.
Sure.
You can put your feelings into your work even. I think the blog was one of the best things that you've ever done in your entire life.
Feels like a good decision, that's for sure.
I think it was one of those decisions, like, you have like documentaries about people where, like, there's turning points. I would say that when you made your blog, it was definitely a moment. I'm not going to say like Harris with a blog is any better than Harris without, or Harris with the blog is any worse off than Harris without. But you did some shit that was some shit. And that's what I like to do.
That's the shit.
I like to do the shit that is shit because it's like scary that we're going to die. So it's like, it's almost like I'm pushing to do so much shit.
Yeah. So the answer that I came up with before I came here was that you live through life at such a fast pace, and you're always making sure that your life is filled with stories that the past doesn't really have time, right? Like you're not lingering on it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Especially lately. That's also a skill.
Because you're not lingering, because you're living life. And the struggle right now has been throughout college. I could always use I thought that I was the one who had the least amount of escapism, right? Like I didn't take drugs or alcohol throughout college. I was like, my friends are using it as a form of escape. Looking back on it, I was probably the one that was escaping from reality the most, right? Like when I would go to play basketball, I would just it was a way to forget everything else that was
That's
going.
why you're so good. I never knew that about you.
Okay.
That makes so much sense. I'm serious. Those periods of time when you practice a skill like that and you use that as a form of escape, who's the best drinker you know? Sarvesh.
Yeah.
Like you get good. It's like it can be anything. It can be any. I was so good at smoking weed, bro. Like you feel pride in the way you flick the lighter. Like, the way you hit that, the way you move on the court is very much so poetry.
Thanks, dude.
And it's unexpected coming from a guy looking like you. You look like a computer science major.
Yeah.
So it's like a shock factor. It's like a Steph Curry kind of thing.
Yeah.
But even further because you're Pakistani.
Yeah, I've definitely had some people comment on that. That's cool. Thanks, dude. I don't think I played great tonight, to be honest. But
yeah, but it's not like I was noticing that.
Yeah.
But it's just because you weren't shooting.
Yeah, I counted. I took one shot.
Yeah, what the fuck? You took one shot.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for you to start. I was so paranoid.
Actually, no, I took two.
I was so paranoid that you were gonna, because you always beat, and you did beat me.
But that was thanks to my teammates. I'm gonna give them credit here. Anyways, the point that I was trying to make is that I happen to have, like, in all my time, I would make sure that I would center myself, that I would write out the way that I feel. And a lot of writing out how I feel, right? Like journaling is always thought of as a really good thing. And well, I can't write about the future. I write about the past, the things that I have gone through. And what I found is that writing them down made me so much more attached to them because I know how I felt in the moment. I can go back and look at how I felt in that moment, right? And I remember it, if not perfectly, at least close to what, like, I still remember the exact spot that I was when I opened when I opened this journal that this girl had given me in seventh grade, and it said the words, "I love you," for the first time in my life where someone who was not my family chose to and told me that they love me, right? I was sitting in an Aldi's parking lot looking up and I almost cried, or I did cry. I shed some tears, right? And I have that journal I still have to this day, and it is one of the most sentimental, most important pieces of history in my life, right? And I feel a very strong attachment to it. I don't know if that's healthy, right? Like I want.
I think it's just fine.
You think so?
Yeah. But
when does something like that become unhealthy, right? Because I have a lot of things like that. I have
I think it's healthy to lock in on something. But I think that you shouldn't look at the future, you shouldn't look at the past. Lock in on the present, because I think that's the best way to do it. I did not want to interrupt you there. You looked a little bit uncomfortable at the end of that. Man, I ain't worried about you.
You are or you aren't?
Aren't. I think you worry enough about yourself for a village.
Yeah, dude, they're just the point that I was trying to make, which is that you live life very fast paced. It doesn't feel as though I can do the same thing.
Well, you can't. You're not me.
Yeah,
but I could never ball like you.
I'm not trying to emulate.
But dude,
Yeah.
but I think about it and I try.
My point is that I'm not trying to emulate you. It's that the essence of what you're doing, right? The reason that it matters is what I'm trying to emulate, which I think is a good thing, right? Like you will probably never do computer programming, and I will probably never do this video podcast stuff. But the essence of it, right? The thing that you're passionate about, the thing
My
that will
why.
yeah.
You don't think you have a why? Or is your why not powerful, maybe?
it doesn't feel as powerful at the moment. It doesn't feel congruent with who I am.
So
Right.
what's your why?
For anything that I do, I don't know. It feels at the moment, and it has felt for a very long time. My parents.
Good. That was 2 words. That was good. That's good.
That's it. It feels like I was born with this debt that it's not like my parents are have never forced me to give them a single cent. I think my dad has a little bit too much pride for that. But but I have by choice, right? Just because of the virtue of the effort that I saw, right? Like my dad, some of my core memories are seeing my dad in like absolute agonizing pain, right? When he was 2 years old, his aunt dropped him on his back, and he shattered his spine, right? And so he was crippled. And out of um out of sheer luck, my grandfather was someone of pretty high status in Pakistan, and he was able to get a very quick visa to the United States, and my grandmother and grandfather brought him to Shriners Children's Hospital, and he got surgery where they took out his hip and put it in his back, and that's what he has as a back, his hip bone. And I told him he was never going to walk. He walked. He was supposed to have kids. He has kids. I exist because of it, right? And part of that injury still lingers with him, right? He has a very bad back pains and just health issues overall. He has diabetes, and the to see him go through that, and I have never once in my entire life, heard my dad complain once about anything, right? To do that, I don't think that I could be half the man that he is because I complain about a lot of things, and I have never once heard my dad complain about anything. Point being that I feel very strongly about making sure that his sunset years, and it feels terrible to say that, are as amazing and as high quality as they can be. I don't want him to stress about anything. I don't want him to worry about anything. And that is a driving reason why I do what I do. But at the same time, I know that I actively made that choice, but it feels so it feels so inauthentic to who I am. Not the taking care of my parents. I love that. Being home now and not having to, when I was younger, I would hear pretty consistently my parents fight about money and not a word of it, because if my parents need it, I give it to them. If they had I pay the utilities, that stuff is taken care of my dad, and I know that it makes a difference for my dad, and that is probably one of the greatest feelings of the last 22 years have all led up to that, and I'm glad I can give that to him. But in my heart of hearts, what I would do if I had no obligations is something more I would couch surf. I would work on the projects that I'm passionate about. I'd teach. I want to do something that actually gives back. But right now I'm stuck in something where I work in a job that, again, I'm very lucky to be able to work from home, and very close, but and make very good money doing it. But I would take a significant pay cut if I was my only responsibility to teach or to do something else. I don't know. And that's what makes me sad.
What?
That I'm living inauthentically, that I'm not doing the things that I truly without sans responsibility would be doing, right? I'm doing this because it takes care of my parents, my why. So
Yeah, I don't know.
fair. It was just good to get that.
I've had a couple thoughts.
Okay.
I never interrupted.
Thanks.
That's my job, though. I think that
It started off as 2 words, but then it was a lot more than 2 words. But then I was like, well, I could talk forever about my why. My why is just 1 word: people. I think that I feel like we're like doing like you don't need to have a why. You don't really need anything. I feel like you'll yeah, man, I don't know. I'm not, for one, I'm not perfect. Stuff keeps me up at night. I'm unhealthy. I feel like, I push that stuff out a lot where it's like, I could be better at all this. But for another, like, it's very interesting, Harris. I feel like I just learned a lot about you.
Huh.
You've told me this before, but when things get repeated, it's like they mean more. Here's something. Just because someone doesn't ask for something doesn't mean, like, in the same way that a parent can give you everything, they can also completely mold you into something. And I feel like you should just let that voice talk a little bit more than it usually does. Try whenever you try to make a change in your life, I found it's best practice to start as slow and small as you possibly can, especially the bigger the change is. There's this great book, Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
I've only read the title.
James Clear.
My point is, it should be so small that it might even feel ridiculous. Like, it might even feel like if I told someone how small this is, like I would feel ridiculous even saying it. So, like, I don't know what it would look like. I'm not going to write your story for you, but maybe something along the lines of, like, my every day on my blog, I just write about, like, I write one sentence. I dumb it down to 1 sentence. And then I write, my 1 sentence is like, I don't know. I don't know. That's not, hold on. I don't know what I'm saying. You'd have to shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got all my examples because this is like the way I like to do things and start stuff. But, like, it's worked for me. Start ridiculously slow. And if I were you, when I'm not, maybe this is not the direction you want to go in, I would find something that, like, breathes a little bit of air onto that tiny little fire in the back of your mind that wants to couch surf. That's what I'd do. I would every day, I would make it an everyday thing because I like going by days. I have like a tick like that. I like everyday stuff. And I would, let's see, man, I'd probably, like, I think a good thing to do, because you get excited when you think of big change. And it's like, that's why you really have to push to make it small. The first step, you really have to push. So we just gotta throw something out there. First things first, every single day at the top, you would get college ruled a journal, like, you know what I'm saying? And every line, like you were in detention, you would write 1 line a day and it would say, I want to couch surf. I want couch surf. 3 words, that's it. So we just got a little bit smaller. Okay. Let's not write it down. Let's make it Google Docs. Carrying around a journal too much. Always have your laptop. That's a little bit smaller. Okay, how can we make it even smaller? Okay, you know what else you always have? You might not have your laptop. You got your mouth. Forget the mirror. Fuck it. Out loud. You always have your mouth, and you'll always be able to speak. Maybe not. We can probably make it even smaller than that. Okay, I think I got it. See, like, we're workshopping this, and this is what I want to say. I would say if I was you, every day, I would make it a point to think about how you want to couch surf. For just 1 single moment, do you think in words and pictures? Like, people think differently. I think in words, but I feel like if you actually saw the words, they would be like gibberish, but they make sense to me. And I would think every day in my mind, I'm thinking, I can't say it because I'm thinking it. It's just like the sort of like the idea, like the word couch surf. Because I know what it means. I know what it means to me. Yeah. I would just let myself feel the feeling. I wouldn't even think the words. We're getting even smaller. Yeah, that's probably about as small as we can go. Yeah. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's the way to go.
Yo, dude. On the show? Hey. What's your name? Kaylin Harris. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
They want to see.
You want me to check my boobies for him?
Drop them shorts. You thought about it.
Genuinely did. He was trying to figure out if he was wearing anything underneath that.
The framing's great here. Look, it's just your. It's just his
Night. Great guy.
I'm very proud. I have to say, I've had multiple times throughout this episode thought about how proud I am for whatever wave. It's a wave. The way that these things work, it's very word of mouth.
Yeah.
I left my number and the name of the show on lots of pieces of paper, and I texted it to lots of different kinds of people. And I think that the small spread that will happen will last into tomorrow. And I'm very proud to say this will be the most recent episode they have to click on. Very proud.
Can I send my mom a picture of this?
Yeah.
Tell her I'm on a famous show.
Do you want to call it? You want to call it? You want to end it here?
No, I just want to text her. I don't want to end this. Although I'm tired and I need to do my blog.
Okay, so should we end it?
Oh.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, one last ad read. You can become a subscriber money-wise. Can you bless me with something money-wise? See, I can say whatever. I can say whatever I want right now because the intro music is like drowning my voice out as I speak. Episode 244. Keeping it real. We're out. Peace.